Welcome. Today is Sunday, and Sunday is my meal prepping and getting my shit together day. So I'm saving like crazy right now because I'm going to Africa in a month and a half. So I thought, why not do a grocery haul slash meal prep on a budget? And it's also kind of eco-friendly because I try to shop as plastic free as possible. I can definitely improve in some way. For the most part, it's pretty eco-friendly, budget friendly, vegan friendly, gluten-free, whole foods based. All the recipes I'm going to be showing are super quick and easy. But all up, everything cost me $86.33, which I know is like more on the expensive end. But considering it's all fresh fruit and veg, I think that it's pretty good. And I also got some staple things like toilet paper and dishwashing soap, which do jack up the price a little bit. But let's get into it. So first up, I'll start with the boring things. I just got some dishwashing liquid. This is something that I really need to find a plastic-free alternative to because it's not something that I can just, excuse me, I'm talking. It's not just something that I can sub out. However, I do use the Earth Choice one, which is the most eco-friendly, and the bottle is actually made from 100% recycled plastic, and it's grey water safe, vegan, cruelty-free, Australian made and owned, made from plants. And I always choose the concentrate in the biggest bottle so that, you know, even though it is plastic, you're kind of getting the best use out of it, if that makes sense. And then I got some toilet paper, which is just this recycled stuff. Not interesting. We have a bulk vegan store here in Port Lincoln. I mean, it's not just a bulk store, they just have bulk bins there. And so I got some veggie pasta, which is made mainly out of rice. And then to go with that, so I'm gonna be making pasta, obviously. I got this eggplant pasta sauce in a glass jar, 2 carrots, which I'll grate into there, and 2 zucchinis. My protein source for it will be these brown tin lentils. And I get tin beans a lot because I think the dry beans would probably end up being cheaper, but you have to like cook them and it's a bit more time consuming. And I should do it, I know, but if you're gonna get canned beans, at least get organic. And organic isn't that much more expensive. Most of the time they're on sale, and you wanna go organic with your beans. You wanna go organic with everything, but that's very expensive. So if you can't go organic for everything, try go organic for any of your packaged stuff. Avocados to go with the pasta or with Buddha bowls that I'm gonna be making. And I wouldn't usually get avocados, and definitely not this many, but they were on sale and they're all super ripe. So, and I haven't had avocados the last few weeks because they're going out of season now. For my greens, which I'll probably put some kale and spinach in the pasta as well. So I got a bag of spinach. So I'll wash this and put it in a container so that they keep for longer. Kale, which I shred off of the stalk, and I'll quickly saute in either a little bit of water, so it's kind of steamed, or a tiny bit of coconut oil, because when it's slightly heated, it actually releases more nutrients. So you want to cook your kale, and same with spinach actually. If you slightly steam your spinach, it releases more nutrients. I'm gonna make Buddha bowls. So for my Buddha bowls, the base will either be brown rice, which I already have, or kale and spinach. To put in the Buddha bowls, I've got some sweet potatoes that I'm gonna roast, some broccolini, which again isn't always the cheapest, but it was on sale, so I jumped on that because I love broccolini. With broccolini, you wanna actually cut it a fair while before you cook it, because when you cut it, it releases sulforaphane, which has anti-cancer properties. But you need to cut it at least like 45 minutes before you cook it. Otherwise, if you cut it and then straight away cook it, you get rid of all that sulforaphane. So yeah, moral of the story, cut your broccolini, store it, and then when you're gonna cook it, you have all that sulforaphane just sitting there waiting. Oh, for my butter bowls, I'm going to make a homemade hummus to put on top. So I got some organic chickpeas and I've got some pumpkin in my fridge. So I'll roast the pumpkin and chickpeas together and then blend that with like a little bit of tahini, which I already have as well. That makes hummus, and I'll put that on top of my butter bowls. Nooch from the bulk store as well. This I put on everything, honestly. I mainly got it for the pasta because I always like to have cheese on top of my pasta. Nooch is just the best, and it's got B12 and it's just the love of my life. And then I'm going to make my Moroccan lentil Dahl / soup sort of thing. So I've got red lentils that I also got from the bulk store, and these are just the dry red lentils, and some diced tomatoes. And that's pretty much all you need, and some veggie stock and a heap of spices, and it's so delicious. And I either have that either by itself with a little bit of rice or with some bread, which I have this soy linseed bread, which is gluten-free, yeast-free, dairy-free, egg-free, vegan. And this bread just makes me feel a lot better than normal bread. It's more expensive than normal bread. Sadie, I am trying to talk. If you didn't really care about being gluten-free, then like this would be a lot cheaper, and same with the pasta, but it just makes me feel better being gluten-free. So that will be for my breakfast. So I'll either have avocado on top or peanut butter and banana, because that's currently my obsession. And then last thing I got was Cadbury drinking chocolate, because my roommate and I go through this a lot. So let's get into the meal prepping. Okay, so first up, we're gonna start with the things that are gonna take the longest, which is roasting the vegetables. So I've rinsed my can of chickpeas and put it out on this baking tray here, and then diced some pumpkin and put it here. And I'm just gonna put some spices on it and then pop it straight in the oven. I preheated the oven to 180. So I've got some onion powder, just some smoky paprika, which this stuff is like crack. I eat this with everything. Mix that around, get everything coated, and we'll pop that in the oven. Next, we're going to dice the sweet potatoes and then pop them on a tray with a little bit of leftover pumpkin that I had that I can just pop in my butter bowls as well. All right, there is my sweet potato. We'll get our... You're very talkative today. I'm gonna get the lentil soup cooking because you do need to simmer that for a little bit. So let's get into that. So you're gonna need a big ass pot for this one, and put a little bit of water in the bottom of the pot. You need just a little bit of garlic, probably like 2 teaspoons. So I'm gonna add some onion powder, lots of smoky paprika, cinnamon, ginger, and ground cumin seeds. And then you just want to cook that for a little bit. I just put it on medium-high heat and continuously stir it. So it's starting to simmer away in there. Keep stirring it. I'm going to lower the heat a little bit. Now you add the diced tomatoes. I just realised I'm out of veggie stock and I had no idea. So I won't be adding veggie stock. I'll just have to add more spices and things. But if you have veggie stock, you add 7 cups of veggie stock now. But I'm just gonna add 7 cups of water. Now you wanna bring this to the boil. So give it a quick stir, but now just let it sit for a bit and let it boil. Now, while I'm waiting for that to boil, I'm gonna get my kale and spinach ready, which I'm just basically gonna shred the kale and wash them both, put them both in a container. So I basically just pull the little floret things off of the main stalk and just rip them into bite-sized pieces. All right, that is all shredded and jam-packed into this container. So I'll put this in the fridge now. Now we want to give this a stir. Just lower the heat for a little bit. And add in our red lentils. So add in 3 big cups of the lentils. Bring it to the boil again and let it boil for about 3 minutes, and then we want to reduce it to a simmer. Alright, our soup has been reduced to a simmer, and we're just going to let that simmer for about half an hour until the lentils are cooked. And you just want to stir it. I swear to God, she never meows. While we wait for that to cook, we're going to chop up our broccolini. And now I don't like to cook this like now. I like to cook it as I'm eating it because I think it tastes better. And I eat stalks and all of this because it's all good for you. All right, broccolini in the fridge. We are going to start on the pasta. So I like having grated zucchini and carrot in my pasta just because it bulks it up a bit more, and just, you barely even taste it and it adds extra nutrients. And then I also found in the back of my fridge some mushrooms that I have to use up, so I'm gonna use that as well. All right, while I was doing this, I just realized I completely forgot about the stuff in the oven. But the chickpeas and the pumpkin are ready. They're all roasted up and good, so I'm just gonna put them aside and let them cool. All right, that is all grated now. And I'm just gonna cook this on low heat for a little bit while I'm dicing my mushrooms. I totally forgot what they were called. With my mushroom bags as well, I just keep reusing them until they're totally tattered, because you're only putting mushrooms in there and they're not making it dirty or anything. I'm gonna slice these. All right, so I'll quickly add these mushrooms to the pan. We're gonna rinse the lentils now, and I'm gonna add the lentils to the pan. All right, now all those veggies are cooked for a little bit, I'm gonna add the pasta sauce in. Oh. All right, and that is the pasta all done. So I don't actually like to cook the pasta spirals just yet. I like to cook them as I need them, and then I've got this ready to just like spoon on top of them. So turn that off and let that cool, and then you can put it in a container. Next step, we're gonna make the hummus. Add all of this to the blender. Then we wanna add some tahini. Really just like 1 dessert spoon. And I'm gonna add just a teensy little bit of water, and then blend it. Oh my God. That's really good. So that is the pumpkin hummus all done. So that can go in the fridge now. So our soup is all done, and I've just turned that off. Pasta's all done. Sweet potato is all done. I'll take that out in a second. And now I just have to wait until everything cools and I can package it up and put it in the fridge. Thank you for watching. I hope you try out some of these meal ideas. If not, I hope that you got something from this. Thanks, bye.
Oh, would you be so kind as to fall in love with me? You see, I'm trying. I know you know that I like you, but that's not enough. So if you will, please fall in love. I think it's only fair. There's gotta be some God.